Going on, everybody? Dreadful Rick, and here we are, finally, the contest video. uh, I thought I'd give a bit of context around all this and give a bit of just a bit of my thoughts on the community and everybody in the VC. You know, a lot of you guys who are just getting into these metal YouTube channels, you know, I'm very glad to have discovered a lot of people in this community. Being that I've reached 600 subscribers, I actually meant to do this contest around the 500 mark. Life happens, and finally got around to it. I noticed there's a more of this kind of stuff happening with more of people who have their channels, and it's growing, and they're reaching these milestones. And this is a good sign that this is still thriving, still quite healthy, even with the state of the economy and everything, stuff that's going on with the world. There's always music we could fall back to, things that we love, whether it's our comfort food, music, or we are looking to explore new talents, new bands, just new sounds. It's kind of this continuing process. When 2020 happened and we were all locked down, bands were still putting out stuff. They were still dropping albums. The creativity doesn't end, no matter the state of the world. If anything, it makes you want to, closet yourself more and get back in the studio, and because it's about expression. The crazy thing is, this very year, we started out with a mega live stream, and it was about metal gatekeeping, and it started a huge conversation, which I guess was the point, right? And everybody gave their thoughts on where they stand with that stuff. And I can see one side why people might think that it needs to be sort of exclusive and kind of belong to a certain clique, why it needs to remain underground for certain particular reasons, and the other side of why it needs to be more open, and why music is really for everybody, despite where where it goes, how underground, how dangerous it's supposed to be. So my thoughts was that I see music as art. I do art myself, so I guess I'm a bit biased there, and I just see music as kind of a how it echoes society, like the way paintings evolve is a reflection of the world. That's the way I see music. We don't want to be always stuck in just in 1984, in 1991. Again, that's probably your comfort zone here. Maybe that's where you associate music being the most dangerous thing, or the most exciting, the fastest, the angriest, whatever it is. I'm talking about metal specifically. Other genres are not as, I don't know, as uptight about that stuff. Again, I'm not a wordsmith, so again, I'm probably not describing this the best way possible, just the way I know how. So you guys are all awesome. The very fact, and I'm very humbled by the fact that, I could record a video and there are people who are willing to take 10, 20, 30. All right, yes, I've made hour videos. An hour video, and actually, even if you have to eat it in like an elephant, right? It's like one bite at a time, there's a little bit here and there. I've done that with some of you guys. You put up your little 45-minute videos, and I have to watch it in pieces, but eventually I make sure, I get around, because here's the deal. The thing about these YouTube videos is, and a lot of you guys in the community, which is mainly why I'm in it, it's not looking to be this gigantic infotainment channel, it'd be this big network. That was never my aim. That was never my ambition. I like to grow naturally and organically, and knowing that people to subscribe are legitimately interested in some of the stuff that we do and why we do it. Everybody has their own quirks and personalities with it. So that is number one. It's the people that I watch, the people that I subscribe to. I genuinely, like, if I'm subscribed to you, it's because there's something about you that I enjoy coming back to and returning to, and which is awesome. And there's a lot of you out there. It's so much that it's actually getting harder to keep up, But everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. Some people are better at reviews. Some people are better at just showcasing products. You want to do a metalhead box, go ahead and do that. Some people may roll their eyes at that, but there are people who want to know because they are subscribed to that stuff and they want to see the product, or whether they want to subscribe to such a product, and then there are people who want to do interviews and are really good at face-to-face interaction with others, whereas others are more introverted and is not really, again, I'm probably not more in that camp. And also, we have people who also do just general collection updates, and I've done my fair share of that. And there's no real hard and fast rule about, do we do this about once a week, twice a week, once a month, whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? I think sometimes it helps maybe to not put it out so frequently because it helps kind of helps people kind of keep on top, but then some people are looking very forward to the next thing you put out. So there's no right or wrong with any of this. That's the thing about this community. Again, I'm talking about the metal community in general, but there are other channels as a reflection of how this is growing. Rachel's Ghosts, she will put up these live streams about every day, and get around 100 plus, 150 plus watchers coming in, and the Vinyl Archivist, Pat, and those guys are all awesome, and they do their stuff and they talk about things outside of metal very easily. And a lot of us who went to this kind of music also have other stuff in our collections that we enjoy at the same time. I did the Dreadful News experiment earlier in the year. I do want to go back and do some more updates on that, but life took over for me. But that is something that I do want to return to, which I thought was a little unique. I wanted to offer something unique for the YouTube community, and I thought that's probably one way to do it. It's just basically a resource talking about news about the VC in of itself. Huh. So anyway, so I wanted to give back to you guys in one shape, form, or another, and just show my gratitude with all of this. Some of the channels I followed, Mark at what do you call it? Warner Webzine, Kim at This Is Music, Mark G with a C, Marty Worm, Alan, Let's Talk Metal. People I talk to all the time, Jeff, Gas Mask and Hand Grenades, Jake, Upside Down Church, Brian Arkham. Need to make some videos, man. We got Cody and Anthony, we got see, I can go on, even other channels I watch that that maybe I may not interact with much, but I do enjoy, like Beauty Red Viking, there's another one. Liam, Death Do Metalhead, some of the guys who I've gotten acquainted with a little earlier on when I started the YouTube thing. Man, there's just so many. Ken's Death Metal Crypt. Again, he was another one that's very early on, found us, we've interacted. One of the best death metal channel related content on YouTube. Chromium Dioxide, Phil, the funniest guy on YouTube, the most creative. You know what I mean? I'll never catch up to you, man. It's so just I'm like the dollar store version of you. And if I could achieve that, that's good enough for me. We also have what do you call it? Other people that I follow, Kellen, Killing for Company, another awesome dude, and we have Jim also who does the Wednesday nights at the Heavy Metallurgy. I wish he would do YouTube videos, man. He seems like he'd be really good at it. I mean, he probably has, so maybe wasn't aware, but yeah, I'd love to see some YouTube related content from him. We also have TJ, at the Heavy Metallurgy Wednesday Club. You know what I mean? Another cool personality. You guys need to make music YouTube videos, man. We also have people from all over the place. Devin, Mazel Torment. You know what I mean? A young guy. He really knows his shit, man. I just look at what he does in just such awe because I would love to have been at a place, knowing where I would be now with the knowledge of music, that he has about metal, given at that time. Also, I'm recording this pretty late in the day, so it's hard for me to kind of have everything come to memory, immediate memory anyway. Horse of Unreason, another one. I did a contest for him. Metal Marty Mac, I've done a contest for. I've done so many of these contests, again, in support, but also because I wanted to also demonstrate that, how healthy this community is. And also, doing these contest videos, at least I set out on a personal mission to kind of be an example of these contest videos don't have to be this is what you call skippable content. You know, I mean, they can still be fun, interesting, and worth watching. You know, I mean, some people go for certain things. Like, I'm only going to watch the collection update stuff, or I'm only going to watch the what do you call it, the metalhead unboxings, you know, or whatever it is, or just the review stuff. Uh, and there's no hard and fast rule about what you know. You like what you like. You tune. But as far as the contest videos or the threads is another one, and that's one of the best things I like about the community too. Is you can come up with a video with a what do you call it, a thread that could go a little viral. You know, I think one we did was the what do you call it, the 10 bad albums or something like that. Or you could do one on albums to have something on the cover. I did a aquatic one this year. So it's cool that Ron Haggerty was. So another cool guy. Uh, Keith, Attack from Down Under. What's up, man? Australia, Simon, Explosive Action. So it's just so many of you, and I just wanted to express, you know, how thankful and how just everything, you know, doing this channel. And so I'm getting along with it here. And I also just wanted to not just talk about myself, but just kind of talk about why I'm in this, why I keep doing it. And another one is Joe from Joe's Metal Man Cave. I know he's taking a bit of a hiatus, but another really cool guy. I do have talked to him, you know, outside of YouTube too, with you know, with Instagram. A lot of you guys have Instagram accounts, like Peter from the Metal Vault. He's also appeared in some live streams, though he doesn't have his own YouTube channel, which he should, and so on and so forth. So you know, anyone that I missed, you know who you are, and you know, again, just equally as thankful, and I really enjoy catching up with everybody and everybody's content, just overall. So it's so cool that this is a thing, you know. We live in times where we can record YouTube videos just like this and turn on the camera, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to go through all this editing. You know, you don't have to be Chromie. You know, to do if you have the skills and ability and the talents, I would encourage you to do it. You know, but if you don't, you just turn on the camera, just talk. Tony, Tainted Lord 89. You know what I mean? Like, he's a guy who just turns on the camera, talks about some of the stuff he's gonna spend a week. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Like it's just awesome. That the fact, and I not tune in, and I legitimately want to know what he's gonna be spending that week. You know, uh, at the same time, he's more of a nostalgia guy for me. He puts a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh man, yeah, I forgot about that album. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I had that. Like, so there's a lot of that too, which you know, it's I'm a more reflective kind of personality. I get stuck in the past a lot, and you know, and that's you know, channels like that keep me coming back, you know, for that kind of thing. So cool to have a lot of you doing this. So thank you very much. Thank you for 600 subscribers, and it's just going to keep growing, I guess, with everybody, you know, reaching these milestones. Like Mark G reached 2,000. Dennis, Analog Archives, we're running a contest right now for 2,000 subscribers. I know that what do you call it? Rock and Metal Plus, Johnny Mac. You know, you know, I think as of this recording, it's still running the contest. If we all come up with our themes and we all participate, so in a way, it kind of acts like its own thread. You know, thread response, even though it's you know, a lot of us don't do it because we want stuff. You know what I mean? It's just a cool way to see the drawing and get people, you know, have people kind of be like, oh, cool. The Feel Engine wants something is awesome. Eric Bauer, you know, I've won a contest from him, and he's on the cool channel. I love how he explores things outside of metal too. He knows his shit about metal, but he's a guy that's very highbrow and really wants to, you know, talk about other things too. You know what I mean? And he does these live, what do you call it? DJ things. You know, he'll play records and stuff like that, which is cool. Another one is what do you call it? Nikki Goods. Nikki Goods. I know he's had a rough patch, and I had my sympathies, you know, with what he went through. But he's a guy with very good personality, and I kind of wish he had started his own channel too. But he's doing a collab, kind of a collaborative thing with Eric Bauer. So y'all should tune in, which is I think they do it every Sunday. So anyway, so I'll stop babbling and get to the contest stuff. So you can skip all this if you're like, I won't get offended. It's very hard to offend me. You know what I mean? If I will offend myself first before anybody else will get to me first. So you know what I mean? So I'm very self-deprecating. So Have at it, man. So this contest, I have quite a number of things I'm going to give away. There will be two winners in this, so it's kind of symbolic. It's because of the 3-year anniversary of doing this channel. Kellen will be there soon, and some other people. Some have already surpassed it, and the other one's because of the subscriber count at the same time. So I will go into details about that. I will actually leave a little time marker in the description here if you want to jump to just that and don't want to hear me doing all this gigantic rambling. But I thought I just wanted to express all this stuff ahead of time. Anyway, so what do you have to do for this contest? So the reason I came up with this idea was because I'm a middle-aged guy, and technically, a lot of us will associate middle-aged people with a midlife crisis of some sort. What's a midlife crisis, right? When you reach a point in your life where you're like, well, maybe remember when you were 8 and you wanted to be an astronaut. Maybe you wanted to be this or you wanted to do that, or so it's kind of a bit of an existential period in your life when you figured, oh, okay, well, maybe I should have been this, or you get to your high school reunion, your 25-year, 30-year high school reunion, and you're like, oh man, yeah, I'm a pencil pusher, or whatever it may be. I sell insurance. Not exactly what I was thinking I would be here when I was 8, or be in life by this time. So anyway, so I decided to come up with a identity in crisis contest. And the reason for this is with music specifically, a lot of us take this music is very, very personal to us. The reason why we attach to certain albums, even if the album may not be very highly acclaimed or maybe not even very well liked, you know what I mean? But it's personal to us. Sometimes maybe it's not the best music in the world, but maybe it was has memories attached to it. I mean, something symbolic about it, something sentimental about it. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just a song in there, whatever it may be. So basically, what I would want you to do is here are the details. It's going to be any combination. You could do 1, you could do 10. It's open to whatever you want. For just to have an entry, you don't even have to be subscribed. You know what I mean? Just tell me you did an entry or leave a comment here. Again, I will go into further detail about that. So basically, music that is in the most literal sense has our name on it. Albums, band names, songs, whatever that's attached to our identity, meaning, or even the name of your channel. So I'm the Dreadful Minutes. So it could be things that have the word dreadful on it. Something involving terrible minutes, something like that. Another way is music that identifies you or music you identify with. So again, I will show several examples. I'm going to show several here just so that it kind of starts to click and you see what I'm talking about. This is not meant to be a hard topic. It's meant to be quite easy, actually. Again, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 albums, 10, whatever you want to do. You can make it as long as you want. We want to get to know you, the personality. The people who watch, people in the VC who get to know you a little better, and literally through your music. We watch your content, we get an idea of your taste, but also I thought I'd take it another step up, with this, and make it ingrained again as part of your sense of identity. So, okay, let me start with the name stuff first. So right away, I actually found this in a used bin a little while back. It's a band called Dreadful Recognition. And this is their EP called Damnation. Self-released, as you can tell right here. Yeah, so this is a very local band out of Sicklerville, New Jersey. And they kind of played, when I put this in from the shop, I was expecting something a little more, very demo sounding, quite metalcore and just, very generic, being it's a local band, again, I was getting very judgmental about it, but it was $1. It was a gamble, right? But it was $1. So I put it in my car, and this is some pretty interesting melodic death metal. It does have some core elements in there. Again, I know how some of you feel about that. Some of you have no problem with it. And again, it's up to you. Whatever you like, what you like. But this was much better than I thought it would be, considering a couple guys from around in my area, who put out this little EP. So yeah, Dreadful Recognition and Damnation. So it's got the dreadful in there. So what next? The band out of Chicago. They play this called Power Violence. They're no longer active. It was cool. Kung Fu Rick, Motivation to Abuse. This is actually really good. This came out in 1999, was it? 1997, something like that. Late 90s release. Definitely really good stuff. Again, some Motivation to Abuse. Kung Fu Rick. So I love kung fu movies. I've been binging on a lot of martial arts clips on YouTube. So when I'm not watching you guys, I'm watching kung fu stuff. So I get on these phases. Kung Fu Rick. So there's that. All right. Next up, we have a band out of Sweden. So death metal, Revolting. This is their debut album. Dreadful Pleasures. Revolting, Dreadful Pleasures. Look at that. Look at that artwork. Holy damn. Yeah, really good stuff. I love the inside of it where it says street trash. Pretty crazy. Okay, so next up we have uh, what else is dreadful? Oh, here we go. Another band out of Sweden, Dreadful Fate. This is their one of their albums, Vengeance, I believe it's called. Yep, Vengeance. Dreadful Fate. I know Joe. I think it's Johan. His other band is Internment. If you know that band. That's a more of a proper death metal band. This right here, this is more like death thrash. It sounds like you can tell these guys love Sodom. I mean, you can tell by the axe on there. These guys love Sodom. So it's like if Sodom was a little more death metal. Good stuff. If you like Destroyer 666, a little bit of Sodom. I also have oh geez, here's one of their EPs. Look at that thing. Yeah, this is called Bringer of Damnation. Yeah, look at that thing. So okay. So that's the dreadful stuff. Oh, and last but not least, I can't forget about this because my damn channel is named after this. My Dying Bride, the Dreadful Hours. So yeah, I only give you dreadful minutes. I don't give you dreadful hours. I can give you dreadful hours if you guys want that, but I'm not gonna go more long-winded than I need to be. But there you go. So I identify with this because it's attached to my channel name. Also, they're called My Dying Bride. If you guys know my personal story, I've experienced a loss and a big loss, and someone I will consider my bride. And yeah, so this is in the most literal sense. So okay, now albums you identify with or identify you. So again, take it how you will. So yeah, so Def Leppard, On Through the Night. So how does this identify me? So this album came out in March 14th of 1980. So this was released about 3 days before I was born. This album is only a few days older than me. So not this pressing. This is a newer pressing, but I'm talking about just the album's release. So yeah, their debut album, and so pretty interesting. So around my birth time, and how else does it identify me? Rick. There's two Ricks in this band. So yeah, we got Rick Savage, right, the bassist. I think he's been with the band forever, along with Rick Allen, right? And so Def Leppard are a special band to me. I like their 80s is where it's at for me for this band. This is the band known as having the one arm drummer, right? So was tragic, what happened to Rick. Next, Dio, Holy Diver, right? We all know this. I don't really need to go into detail about this, but how does this identify with me? Well, Dio, as you guys know, amazing singer, one of the probably best singers in rock that ever existed. You know what I mean? Probably not the most, but the guy's definitely in the top of the heap. But he's known to be very short. I'm very short, so I have that sort of connection with him. When I see him on stage, I'm like, man, it's like I can't let something like being short hold me back. If I want to achieve some certain heights, and Dio never let that hold him back. Also, there's that priest. So I was raised Catholic, so I've done the Sunday school thing, and I can relate to that. Also, it looks like he's drowning there too. So I'm a shitty swimmer. So if I was put in a scenario, I'd be a goner. I'd be a goner no time, man. So that's one way I identify. So here's some CDs. Skid Row, Slave to the Grind. Yeah, so Skid Row are from Toms River, New Jersey. That's pretty much where I grew up. That was, well, Bayville, but it's pretty much in that vicinity. So it's these guys are basically from my home area. Uh, so this is a band that was founded by Bon Jovi, and kind of give them a help give them a break. And yeah, so Slave to the Grind too. So Slave to the Grind is, I feel like that's my day job now. I feel like I go in every day. I'm fucking grinding, and it just feel like a bit of a, you know, um, I don't know. We all feel like slaves when we got to go and work for someone else, and it kind of I relate to that because of my occupation. So also, and that's my current situation right now with my job. I could have picked their debut album with 18 and a Life, because that has that lyric, right? Ricky was a young boy. Rick, there you go. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. So, what else? Primus, Sailing the Seas of Cheese. So this is their second album. Yeah, second album. You all know how silly Primus is. These guys don't take themselves too seriously. That's how I identify with this. If you guys watch enough of my videos, I can get there, man. I can get there pretty silly. So I can get there pretty crazy, and give you something, because metal and death metal and all this content, it can be overly dramatic and serious. So I try to kind of give a bit of that opposition in some way, by just being quirky and try to add some humor elements to this. And Primus are masters at that. So Les Claypool and company. So next up, Maul. This is their compilation, Gallery of Torment. So not much association with this, other than the name of this. This is also an example to show that you don't need anything that's too precise. It could be a little loose too, how you identify with it. So Gallery of Torment, it's basically, if you look at my YouTube videos, I put quite a bit of time in my thumbnails. I put a lot of consideration and things. People have commented about my thumbnails. So I think I look, this is a gallery of torments. It's a gallery of my thumbnails and what I do with my channel. So that's, again, you can go that direction. Another My Dying Bride, 34.788 complete. So why did I pick this one? I already talked about My Dying Bride. So one thing you know about me is, if you guys know me really well, I tend to start a lot of projects and just never finish them. I want to do this, and I want to move on to something else. I give you a little ADD squirrel like that. So this is kind of the title of this, kind of I'm a bit of a procrastinator too. So again, not 100% complete. So there's that. Alice in Chains, The Devil Put the Dinosaurs Here. Uh, you know, One of my favorite bands. Excellent stuff. And so this is one of the newer era releases. So how does this identify with me? So this actually reminds me of a story. I told you guys I was raised Catholic, and I did do Sunday school, and I remember the teacher there at the Sunday school facility. I was always the kid in the back row that would ask the stupid questions, and kind of because everybody wanted to leave, right? I remember one time I asked a question: do dinosaurs go to heaven? Because she was always saying, animals go to heaven, everybody goes to heaven, and this and that. So, but her answer is what was cemented in my brain when she said, "No, dinosaurs don't go to heaven," because her perception of dinosaurs was that they were big, ugly, and just, I don't know, destructive creatures. And she says the devil she said the devil put the dinosaurs here. That's why they can't go to heaven. They're the manifestation of the devil. And showing that Triceratops is probably not the best what do you call convincing argument as far as making a case against that. But yeah, so every time I see this album, it reminds me of that time in Sunday school when I asked that question: do dinosaurs go to heaven? No, the devil puts them here. Why would they go to heaven? So heaven isn't too far away. So okay, Deteriorate, another death metal band out of New Jersey, and they're still active. I know they took that long hiatus. And Ancient Beliefs, put out by Sunshine Ward. This reissue, cool stuff. So it's called An Ancient Beliefs. What is an ancient belief? It could be religion, right? It could be what anything else. I kind of went outside religion. If some of you know me very well, I am an astrology practitioner, and that's an ancient belief. Astrology has been around for quite a few millennium, and it's an ancient art. Study the stars, the planets, the movements, and how the forces of it kind of affect your energy, and when you're born, and how it kind of encapsulates into your personality. I know I've talked to a lot of people, and there are people who think it's complete bullshit. And you know what? That's perfectly fine too, because maybe you have a certain chart and alignment that's not conducive to believing this stuff. So that in of itself would say you shouldn't believe in astrology based on your chart. Therefore, it would make perfect sense. So I hope these are enough examples to kind of show you kind of what I'm looking for as far as this kind of thing, how you identify with it, how it identifies you, or in the most literal sense, maybe there's a name in there, your channel name, your personal name, in some way or another. Have fun with it. That's all I would say. Have fun with it. See what you can come up with. So you can make a video. So here's the instructions. If you make a video, it's probably preferable, not because videos are just fun, but actually we get to see your personality. We get to see the face behind the albums. And when you're talking about it, it makes perfect sense, right? You're talking about this and that. We see how maybe you have a story behind it, rather than leaving a big long comment. You can, but I would say people might prefer to see your face and the people behind it. Some people have entered contests who don't have a channel, like Maya, right? So Maya, you've done contest videos. She's based out of Japan, and so that counts as 2 entries. So if you make a video, 2 entries, and if you decide to leave a comment, I would say leave a comment in this video right here, and just again, if you log in with your profile, if you have a YouTube account, you have a profile, you have a name, some name attached to it. Maybe there's an album you could say, well, this kind of is pretty tied to my channel name or my YouTube account name, or just tell me, hey, I'm this kind of personality, and this is this album it identifies me, identify with because of this, you know what I mean? Or maybe I'm a butcher, and Destruction's Mad Butcher. It's my occupation, and how I identify with it. It could also, it could be any number of things. So I hope that that was detailed enough for you. So the shit, what do you win? What is the shit you will get? It's gonna be two prize packs you can choose from. So there will be 1 grand prize winner. The grand prize winner. So what's the difference? The grand prize winner will be able to choose between either one of 2 packs. The second winner will basically get whatever the grand prize winner didn't choose. So I thought at least make it fair that way. So the prize packs will be a kind of a more of a death thrash kind of pack, and the second pack will be of what I call a disgust pack. So all right. So the disgust pack is more of the gross, the grindy, something kind of along those lines. Okay. So death and thrash related kind of things again, and disgust pack. So grand prize winner will get first dibs on choosing which pack they want. That's what makes it grand. And then again, I pull the next name out of a hat. It'll be a random pick. So the quality of your video has nothing to do with or increasing your chances of winning, other than making a video and counting as 2 entries. You go the comment route, and that counts as 1 entry. That's all. That's the only difference. So I'll see about making a playlist too, as people make entries on this, so you can kind of the reason the playlists are good, to see what entries are, just to see if anybody has picked what you picked. So again, I've done that myself, looking at other playlists. So let me show you the items. What the hell do you actually get? Okay, let's begin with the Death and Thrash pack. First item, this is the Big Daddy right here. This is a box set. It came out earlier this year, and this is Sabat, the English one, not the Japanese one. So this is some technical thrash, Mad Gods and Englishmen box set, still in the shrink wrap. So this is easily $100 over item right here. And I know a lot of you already own. So they put out 3 full lengths. I don't think the third one is included here. I think for good reason. You get Dreamweaver, History of Time to Come, the BBC Clock Radio Sessions, and I guess there's a DVD, Live in the East concert, a 1990 concert, Live in Berlin 1990. And there is a 32-page book. There's some photos, poster, other extra yummies and things like that. So yeah. So if you already own it, hell, nothing wrong with having a backup copy of this, or as part of a box set, or some spare, or you could just, if you win it, you could just resell it or something, whatever. It's yours. You win it, is yours. So yeah. And next up, you will get. So this is a band I wanted to include in here because they reissued these two particular albums. Listenable Records has reissued. So this is some pioneering band out of France, coming up during that scene. They were a little later into the game, or getting to the extreme underground, with bands like Massacre, Aggressor, and you also had Loud Blast. Loud Blast, a very generic name, which probably did not help them very much. I mean, it could be a hard rock band for all we know. So you get their debut full length, actually, Sensorial Treatment, a CD, still in the shrink. Very underrated album. For those of you who don't know, this has not been reissued in years. Proper format. So you can also get this on vinyl, but I got the CD copy. So I didn't want to. I kind of wanted to mix formats here for I know people prefer different formats. So yeah. So this right here, if you like Sepultura's Beneath the Remains and you like that style of production and that kind of style of thrash, this is for you. Really good stuff. Also, they released the Frozen Moments Between Life and Death album, which came out, I believe, in 2011. And the reason I'm including this too is because I love this album right here, and it is a back to form for the band after Sublime Dementia. They kind of when the band kind of yeah, it got really bad for them, and everything was very subpar until this album came out. I think they were back to form. Albums after this, a little more iffy for me, but I see this as another quality release from the band, and also the OG CD only had a portion of the artwork shown on the cover, so this reissue shows the whole artwork in all its glory. I do have the OG vinyl right here, so this is the Sensorial Treatment, and yeah, here's this one. So if you want to know what it looked like, the OG vinyl is not included. That will remain in my collection. But Listenable did a good job with these reissues, so you do get these two CDs. So this is some really good. I guess this is more thrash than death. The album after this, Disincarnate, excellent death metal. Another one is very not talked about enough and underrated, out of France. But this is a good thrash. This is more melodic side of death metal. By the time they arrived this period in their discography. All right, so Sabat, Loud Blast, and this right here is a contribution from. I'll just show you. Yeah, so Sean Matty included this note, and he included an extra copy of Alic, Karen's EP, right here. Awesome. I would say this is more on the melodic side of death metal, out of Salt Lake City. Excellent stuff. Great EP, and yeah, it came out earlier this year. So you can see the humor in it, kind of parodying Iron Maiden. Now, some of you may have already picked it up. Go already have it. However, get a load of this. Here we go. Yeah. So he autographed it here. He signed it, and he included this pick, which he used to track the actual EP. So only two of these exist. So I have the one copy. I don't know who has the other one. Is it you, Classy Lonnie? Who has the other copy? I know he's got a. I know he has the tape. So yeah, it comes with these stickers. You get a nice Karen sticker to go with it, and yeah, he says it's one of two that was used to track the EP. So if that comes out very well or not, if that's readable. So definitely cool. I thought I'd include that. Yeah, very special edition of this particular piece. So even if you have it, this is still worth having in your collection anyway. And why not throw this in there? So this is the flag. So if you see the Horse and One Reason contest video I've made, I had a little coffee commercial on the end of it, and you can see the Karen's flag in the background. So that's what I'll be throwing in there. So basically it's this cover in a flag form. You can hang on your wall and make all your people who come over and see your room chuckle, if you will. So next up, we have so Huan Kuang, I guess you from out of China, puts out some awesome reissues and just old gems, old death metal thrash, extreme music gems that you may not have heard of and that deserve to be kind of revisited. And they do kind of what Dive Bomb does with a lot of their stuff too. I think Huan Kuang out of China does a really good service with this kind of thing too. So this is a band out of Brazil called After Death Blood. This is considered a demo. I think it's because it's the only thing they released. And this came out in 1994. And this is a banger. Vicious, it's a banger. It does sound like of its time period, but this is some catchy death thrash right here. More on the death side than thrash, but yeah. So I thought I'd put this in there. This was a very limited run. This is actually pretty hard to find now. It was in circulation for a little while. And if you do find it, it's probably going to go for a little bit of money. If you get lucky, if you find it, I would definitely grab it or just win it here. And Melanie Loves Death Metal threw this in the box for me when I made an order through her distro for Unembalmed Beheaded. So this is some death metal, I think out of Arizona, and this is their latest EP. It came in a sort of little slip form, and I already have a backup copy of it, so I said at least put the spare in for a giveaway. So 100 of these were made. So yeah, so I'm gonna throw that in there for you. Really awesome band. Check out their other stuff on their Bandcamp. Really good death metal. So also wanted to throw in something local, so a superhero that represents New Jersey, and I thought why not this is something that everybody should know about if you don't already. I will be throwing in the 4-disc Blu-ray of the Toxic Avenger collection. Damn right. So yeah, you get Toxic Avenger 1, Part 2, Part 3, Citizen Toxie. I guess the fourth one is the Making of Toxie. Again, still in a shrink. This could be yours, damn it. This could be yours. New Jersey's finest. So that is the Death and Thrash pack. Let's move on to the Disgust pack. So I got 2 vinyl over here I'll be giving away. The first one is Phantasmagore, Insurrection or Submission EP. This is put out by Life After Death in the US and Dawn Breed Records overseas. So it's kind of a collaboration. I think Headsplit was also involved with the release. So this is brand new, unplayed, and just some really sick death metal. So I figured this would be appropriate for this pack. This particular edition right here is the red copy. It's red marbled, I believe. Yeah. So you will be getting a copy of that. So this is a band out of Chile. So some nice South American. So if you love your South American death metal, these guys are for you. I mean, if you like that nasty stuff like Fetid, this is definitely up your alley. The other one is kind of one I don't see around, is a little more obscure, and this was put up by what is it? Kill Again Records. This is Cementerio, which basically Spanish it's for cemetery, or Portuguese, if you will. This is a project out of Brazil. So yeah, another really ingrained old school nasty ass death metal. So let me do a little show and tell, and yeah. So this right here, unplayed, comes with a poster. The vinyl itself is a nice purple printed insert. There you go. Nice, clear, translucent, I guess, purple. It does come with a poster. And if I can just pull it out here for you. I forget the guy's name, but he's the guy behind the project, the main dude. There is some live footage of these guys on YouTube, so I would definitely encourage checking it out because it's a really cool set. He does have a full proper band playing there. I don't know if they were official members at the time or they're just session hires in order to play that material. But I also wanted to show you this because this is pretty damn awesome. It comes with these stickers. Uh, look at this thing. So that is included with the vinyl. Yep. The Hills Have Eyes. You get all of that in that very vinyl. So I got a 10-inch here, and this is a local band. This is a Philadelphia act, and I wanted to support this band, include them as part of this giveaway. It's an awesome picture disc. So this is a 10-inch picture disc of only 20 of these were made, and this is Cadaveric Spasm. I told you this was a disgust pack. Look at that thing. So this is, as you can probably tell looking at this, this is some grind. This is some death grind, again, out of Philly. There's a little bit of electronic elements thrown in there here and there, just for a little bit of that creativity. But this is a fun listen. So they have a Bandcamp page if you're curious what they sound like. But the as you can guess, the picture disc is basically what the cover is. So pretty sick stuff. So yeah, if you're not much of a picture disc person and or just not vinyl's not your hugest thing, I will be throwing in a CD copy of that same one there. So yeah, it's called Fuck Disaster. It's the name of the this album. So there you go. Still in the shrink, ready to go. It could be in your hands. Next up, we have. So I took something from my collection, and I'm willing to part with it because I thought it'd be really cool to throw in this back. This is actually pretty hard to find and can go for a little bit of money. So this is one of Dismember's EP. Figured Dismember's it's a pretty disgusting thing. You ever seen a dismembered body? Figured the band would associate. So this is their Misanthropic EP. It's one of those slimline cases. There you go. So yeah, so it's not mint condition, but the CD itself is in pretty good shape. So no worries about that. What I mean by that is, yeah, it does have a hole punch in there. That's the way I bought it. But this could be yours if you're trying to be a Dismember completionist. Some people tend to overlook the EPs. There you go. I know they just put out that box set. I don't know if this material is included in there. Maybe it would, but it'd be cool to have a nice physical copy of the real CD along with it. New Jersey, keeping it local again. Mortal Decay, a gathering of human artifacts. Some of the most underrated, not talked about enough death metal bands. People like to talk about the bigger bands or whatever, but Mortal Decay has been around for years. They've been around since the 90s. And I've seen them live back in the 90s at one point, and the lineup has changed since, put up by Comatose Music. So this is a compilation of their some of that early material. So this is some genuinely good, gross stuff. You also get another New Jersey band, local. I guess I consider them a Philly band, even though they're, I think, from Vineland, New Jersey. This is Morbid Cross's second album, on Ungodly Infestation. Still in the shrink. So if you don't have it, this could be yours. So quite a number of CDs in this one. I thought I also include Exhumed, Anatomy is Destiny. This is their 2003, I believe, release. So you're like, well, this is not that nasty. Look, people who look at chopped out body parts and fucking just innards and things, like, whatever, people get very numb to that. But for some reason, something about eyeballs, people are still very sensitive to that. So that's definitely should be part of the disgust pack. Watch people cringe. Go ahead, put a pencil right near that eye. Watch people just cringe. All right, so I'll also be including this live DVD, Cannibal Corpse's Global Evisceration. There you go. So this is from their Plague Evisceration Plague album tour during this period. So yeah, that's pretty fun actually. Again, if if you're not the biggest fan of this band or whatever, but you're just curious what their live experience is like, or just there's a lot of moments where the band's kind of just clowning around, and when they're not on stage, and there's a lot of like little interviews and little moments like that, which is pretty cool. So it's definitely worth watching. Now, if you don't want to wait, the whole thing you can watch on YouTube right now. So you don't, again, but if you're a completionist and you want the physical DVD, there it is. And next up, I thought I'd include at least one tape. And a lot of you may go, "Oh, tape," but this is not just any tape. This is a special edition Tenebro. So it's put out by Dismal Fate Records, and this is their latest EP, Carne Humana. So if you like the old cannibal style old horror movies from back in the day, so this is a special edition package of Tenebro. This is already sold out. I believe it's signed by the band. It's got a print in the back right there. This is old grindy, just thick riff. Think Mortician. Just kind of an Outrealm kind of stuff in Pentago. This is includes. There's a patch in here. There is a. I'm trying to get it to show up in the back because it's kind of hidden away. Damn it. I don't want to open it up, of course. That's for the winner to do. But you do get a blood vial pack. See the blood vial pack? What I'm trying to get into, there's a cockroach in here. Not a real cockroach, but it's a little cockroach thing here. It's again part of the Disgust pack. So yeah, you get this nice Tenebro. I think only about 50 of these were made, 60, something like that. Again, it's long sold out. So again, you get your chance to get one of those limited editions. And the very last item in this Disgust pack will be Toxic Avenger again. So you get the Blu-ray with the Thrash pack, Death Thrash pack, and also if you pick the Disgust pack, you will also get a copy of Toxic Avenger Collection Blu-ray with it. So either one you pick, you won't lose out on our New Jersey's National Heroic Treasure. So there is that. So if you win, let me know your address, your location, and I can send this stuff your way. This is open to outside the US too. And by this point in this video, you go, A, Rick, you're so damn long-winded. B, what the hell, what meds are you on? You're giving away all this shit. What is wrong with you? And C, this is gonna cost you a fucking boatload of money if an international winner happens to be the one picked. And I'm prepared for that. And again, this is all about gratitude and not about money. This is maybe a little bit about money, but I'm giving back, and the best way I know how for you guys. So I thought I'd at least do this, and hopefully it's awesome enough for you. I try to keep things a little balanced between both packs to at least give it, I guess, more of an equal appeal. Deciding where you go with this. This was a lot harder. This was a lot harder for me to balance more than you might have thought. Anyway, so I'll probably throw in a bunch of other little stickers, maybe another bonus item or two, in the box, whatever, however the stuff is packaged. But at least the stuff that I've shown will definitely be the stuff that's included with there for you. So, best of luck to everybody. What is the deadline? So that's the other thing. So I'm going to run this through. I was thinking about Halloween, but we're already going to be hitting mid-September by this point, by the time you watch this video. So I'm going to run about 2 months. So I would say middle of November, November 15, 16-ish, something like that. I'll leave it in the description, whatever specific date I decide. I haven't really fully decided yet, but I figure somewhere around that time, middle of November, even things out. So give it about 2 months. I'll be doing a drawing, picking 2 names, and yeah, let me know your location. I'll send that stuff your way, and by then you'll probably have a very merry holiday package arriving at your destination. Thank you everybody for this. Thank you for sticking along and watching this very long drawn out video, and everybody who's supported my channel, friends, people. I've even gotten like little letters and things, Tom Selleck pictures from Brian. Eli is another good big supporter. Love his channel. Tharkins from the Cold North. So definitely that's Louis right there. Tony, her Life Eternal channel, another awesome channel. He's doing showing off his CD collection right now. guy, man, he's a very mixed bag of a lot of stuff. It's really cool watching the variety of things uh, there. Classy Lonnie, of course, always a big supporter of his stuff, and definitely a supporter of my channel, and just I consider him a friend. Uh, Steve S&T Young, another cool one. Bill Knife Circle, another cool one. Another channel. And again, like I said, there's so many I could bring out, that are good supporters of the channel. And I just want to say thank you to everybody, and good luck in the contest. So, sort of all that, keep it dreadful. Catch you all on the next one, and we'll revisit in November.